Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are some disadvantages to batting 8th or 9th in the batting order. We get less at bats, obviously. So I would just like to ask maybe for a future conversation, since we are running out of time, specifically to the point that the gentlelady, Representative Boback, was talking about as it relates to higher education and the link between higher education and job creators. You've mentioned taking, I think the first step is updating the catalog, the academic catalog, and streamlining that. I think that's really important. But I would like to hear, if not today, but in the future, specific conversations or ways that you're strengthening the relationship between job creators and higher education, creating partnerships or programs that they are directly involved with. I think it's great to track data and statistics, but I would really like to hear about partnerships, because one of the reasons I ran for office at 25 was that despite the numbers, one of the biggest exports in Western Pennsylvania were talented, educated kids. And while we may be taking steps to fix that, I still think there's a lot of frustrated parents, a lot of frustrated employers that we can't find the kids that they're looking for. And along those lines, the link between pre-K, as you mentioned, and grades 12, I think in the 21st century, it's really the link between pre-K and grade 16. And I'm preaching to the choir, obviously, with your background, but the links between K through 12 in higher education, I definitely would like to hear in the future about how you're strengthening that conversation, and being a part of that. Clearly, you have a vested interest in K through 12, and sometimes I feel like we can maybe work in Harrisburg by strengthening that conversation, or policy-wise strengthening that conversation. But if you could give some brief examples of how you're strengthening those links or the opportunities going forward, yes, I'd appreciate it.
One of the other things that I've done since I've arrived, besides visit universities, is visit with constituencies, very importantly including business representation and industry representation around the Commonwealth. I was in Pittsburgh not long ago with some of the members of my board, and we set up rounds of meetings with workforce board members and business and industry CEOs to hear specifically from them about what they thought our system was doing well and where they thought our system needed to do better. I'm headed for Philadelphia, I think, in a week to do the same kind of rounds of meetings, and then I'll be in places around the state. It is not, you're right, just a matter of looking at statistics on a sheet of paper to see where you're short, where you're going long, and where you're outrunning your supply lines, because that'll give you a static picture of need today. What it doesn't give you is a picture of where the Commonwealth is going in the future, emerging business and industry needs, and are you lining up your academic programs to meet those needs that maybe haven't even arrived in a big way in the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is going through, obviously, a resurgence, a revitalization coming out of this recession in terms of what it wants to be for the next 50 years. We need to be a vital link and make sure that we are lined up as closely as possible with where that future will take us in terms of the degrees and the skills students will have. Lastly, and I'll make this quick, Mr. Chair, I believe in consumer information, even in higher education. While we do all of this linking up, one of the things that we're going to do here, I commit that, is do a better job of linking up the jobs available, the entry-level wage, and then the 5-year wage, which is going to be different and should be. You don't want people to give the impression that that's all they're going to make as an entry-level employee, but also then put that on the web, demonstrate what degrees it takes to get those jobs, who in our system offers those degrees, and how much it costs to get that degree at each of our institutions, so that parents, families, and their students can begin much earlier than their freshman year making those kinds of decisions based on good consumer information that ultimately will see them get a better idea of what we offer and how that matches and marries with what's available in the state.
Well, I'm thankful for your conversation today and your leadership, but I really do look forward to future conversations about how we can get better.
Anytime. Happy to do it, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.